What's up and welcome. Do I have something special for my Titan mains out here today? Have you ever wanted to capture the essence of Captain Titan Falcon? How about a near infinite shoulder charge? How about a near infinite shoulder charge while making multiple orbs? Oh, what's that? Oh, you only play PvP, you say? My bad. How about infinitely shoulder charging while making multiple orbs? That's right. Move aside, insurmountable Skull Fort, because Captain Titan Falcon has just entered the chat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Near infinite shoulder charge? That can't be right. He's pulling my ghost. Well, I'll let you be the judge. All you're gonna need is a little bit of creativity, splash of ingenuity, and a will to ape. Absolutely push everything. Well, let's get ready to get into it. Dreadlock Pac here, aka Big Brain Warlock Main, and today I got a build for you all I like to call Captain Titan Falcon. Yeah, I know. Awesome Smash Bros imitation, right? Well, a little story time. For as long as I can remember, in my mind anyway, the hammer strike has always been associated with Captain Falcon. Now, it's not hard to see why, both guys use fire, both guys hit with a hefty punch, and it's kind of memey. Both qualify there. Well, fast forward a few seasons and a couple months later, and this build is actually somewhat viable. Not viable in the sense of in-game, but viable enough to be considered a build because it's consistent enough. So, without any further ado, let me introduce you guys to a build that I like to use. Captain Titan Falcon. So let's get into it. The first piece of the build, which some would say is arguably the most important, is the drip. Here's a quick look at the transmog screen, the shaders I use, and the transmog pieces that I use to make this set. I got the inspiration from the chest piece and the arms from a Reddit post, which I should have the link in the description, and everything else I kind of tinkered a bit until I got with what you see here. Now my artifact, this is what mine looks like, but the only important piece that you really need that's essential is thermoclastic blooming. You need that because you're gonna need to make orbs. Everything else is completely optional. You could unlock Withering Heat, but I don't think it stacks. I could be wrong. And Thermoclastic Strike, just in case you wanted to take it against some champions. Alright, so here goes the core breakdown of the mods. You need one charge collector, which can be elemental charge or taking charge. One charge generator, which can be melee wellmaker or thermoclastic blooming. The mod on my chest piece and my boots are completely optional. So that leaves you with 2 free workaround mods if you wanted to. And the last but not least mod that's the core is heavy handed. You're gonna need this, and soon everything will start to make sense a little bit later. Final piece, which is extremely important, is the Mark 44 stand-asides. I know, right? When's the last time anybody's seen these being used? Seems memey, but you'll see why. Get 100 strength also if you can, and any extra mod that helps reduce melee cooldown is also welcome. Outreach, invigoration. And so, here's a list of goals that you wish to achieve that would allow this infinite shoulder charge loop to take place. So, first step, you need to become charged. Pretty self-explanatory, right? You either pick up an orb or an elemental well, and you become charged. Your second step, you want to eliminate an enemy while you are charged. When you do this with your charged melee, they should drop an orb or an elemental well. Now, because this has happened, you can automatically achieve step 1, bypass it, and continue to go to step 2. The only caveat being that you need to have eliminated the enemy, and you also need a full melee charge. And that's where the beautiful loop comes into play, with the assistance from Heavy Handed and the Mark 44 stand-asides. You see, if you've been keeping up and writing down everything with your crayons, you quickly understand that while you're charged with light, heavy-handed states you regain half of your melee charge back. And now Mark 44 stand-asides, when you have a full melee charge and you hit an enemy, you automatically regain a portion. Now, Destiny's portion is 50%. So, quick maths. 1/2 plus 50% equals infinite Falcon Punch. Now, normally, this is only achievable in PvE. However, due to the seasonal mods, this is also achievable in PvP. You see, you swap out Melee Wellmaker with Thermoclastic Bloom, and every charge melee will produce an orb. That's right, it applies to PvE and PvP. So, you see where I'm going with this, right? You don't have to be a big brain Warlock main to appreciate the beautiful perpetual synergy that's at work here. And to take it a step further, since the core of this build only requires 3 mods, it's extremely customizable depending on the Guardian.
Guardian down.
You want to hold more charges? Go Supercharge. Rocking a full shotgun loadout? Why not Quick Charge? You want to gain more charges at a time? You got Stacks on Stacks. Trying to survive in PvE? You got Well of Life. You want more Super? Well of Potency. You got Font of Might. You got Font of Wisdom. High Energy Fire. Protective Light. I mean, the list goes on. Me personally, I'm a support player. And if there's any way that I can amplify my team's synergy, I'ma do it. So, I selected Striking Light, which, when I have a full charge and I pull off a successful melee charge, I generate an extra orb. So, in tandem with Thermoclastic Bloom and Striking Light, every Falcon Punch I pull off, I'm making 2 orbs. Not for me, but for my allies. Take it a step further, put on Powerful Friends. I mean, I just need to stop, right? Well, guess what? We're not. The only way we are is if we make contact with an unmovable object, because we're trying our best to be an unstoppable force. Now, is this viable for any type of in-game content? Personally, I wouldn't take it to a GM. You probably get away with it on the Legend and maybe even Master Nightfalls, but the problem is you gotta close the gap, get close, and that's a whole nother mess of stuff. But then again, does every build really have to be officially optimized for in-game content in order for you to have fun? To each his own. I'll let you be the judge of that. But as far as fun, yeah, this one checks all the boxes. I mean, it's one thing being able to shoulder charge, but it's another thing to be able to shoulder charge as many times as you can, given the fact that you're charged. So, here's a list of a couple of weapons I scrounged through my vault that have very synergistic perks. Things that came into my mind were perks like, obviously, Swashbuckler, 1-2 Punch, Trench Barrel. The Artifact mod pretty much dictates what we can and can't use against champions, but there's a few hidden gems in there that actually work. Looking at you, Monte Carlo, a couple of sidearms, a couple of bows, and a couple of hand cannons that you could also pull off and be very nasty with in Crucible, given the proper rolls. Now, I know that you're not unstoppable, and you're definitely not invincible. What you are, though, is a very angry Titan with an overshield, hunting down whoever touched your crayons last, getting ready to turn your opponents into ashes and orbs. So, most importantly, I just want everybody to go out there and have fun, man. Try different builds, you know? Get out of your comfort zone. Maybe you might find a new main. Or maybe you just might like inflicting shoulder charge pain. Okay, that was kind of bad, but you get the gist. So, get out there. Embrace your inner Captain Titan Falcon and introduce everyone bold enough to challenge you into your flaming kneecap and your fists of fury. One of the only things I do ask, though, is that if you put this on, put on a drip as well. That way they know, you know, and I know who you're rocking with. Just watch out for Buckshot Barney and Sureshot Chappie. Oh yeah, and Shatter Dive. Well, that's all I got for today. If you enjoyed it or learned something new, you know what to do. Don't just hit the buttons. Falcon, punch them buttons. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that it works on any shoulder charging subclass? Enjoy. I'll see everybody in the future. Big Brain Warlock Main. We out.
That shut them down.